June 16th, 11:17 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2.
Josie.
You move quick,
You move
Apollo.
quick.
Good show. Good show. Oh, sorry.
Josie, you okay? I thought. It's Don't cry, Apollo. Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There are some things that you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else.
Are you kidding me?
It's that. See, I kind of want. Jesus. Never mind. Surprise. This is one of my best tricks, the amazing Mr. Hat.
And the bailiffs are just like, what the crap did this girl just do?
You look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on stage in the Wonder Bar. Yes, I'm a big hit, ha ha ha. Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you, Trucy. There are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges.
Trucy is under arrest for obstruction of a trial.
Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But that testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting now you do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more staged objections, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness is incompetent. I can perceive what he's feeling. I might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling. Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction.
But he did kind of have a reaction. He was like, oh. Like he kind of like had a little freak because he's not perfect. I don't remember.
I don't remember them exactly. Good thing I do. Okay. There were 2 times when he made statements he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction.
In his hand, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled the scene.
Flipping the pages both times. He said it was the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he was not confident in, he displayed a certain habit.
So we're getting into the Apollo catching on habits again. It seems like Apollo has to be semi-aware of the habit before he can actually like use his ability to actually be able to call it out. Because that happened in the previous case. Like he didn't know to look out for it, so he didn't notice it until Phoenix was like, "Hey, keep an eye out for it." And then after that, Apollo noticed it immediately. In his hand, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand.
Oh, his eyes are flicking back and forth.
He flips the page at pistol. Interesting.
Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistols, his fingers all tense. He filled with a corner of a page in his book. Oh, that's different than what I saw. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker?
True.
True. What? I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. You mean that's how Mr. Wright won all those games? It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated, but what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is that I'm going to lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that. Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? Huh, Mr. Wright's not here today. He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're here, Trucy. Is that what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, you did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show the court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice.
Oh, I clicked first.
Apollo. Let's do it. Well, let's do it. Apollo. You know, I'm starting to think I can do this. I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover Mr. Hat as best you can. I just flew in from the coast, and boy, are my arms tired.
I don't remember who was doing that, but oh well.
I was doing Mr. Hat. Right. Ugh. Well, let's find out.
June 16th, 11:40 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. Ahem. I'd like to say the young lady standing next to you. I'd like to... Oh, you mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Anything considering the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that. You settled that? Yes, it was an out-of-court settlement. Right.
Perhaps Forlane would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? He knows. He knows it was a sham.
I think he's on to me. I wish you would stop being so cool.
Let us dispense with these niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness?
Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something. There was no issues with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
oh, he's doing it right here. I think this
I don't
one's
see him
it.
flick.
Because if you look right here, he's holding the page right there.
Yeah.
But let's see, is the last one? Yeah. I think. Oh, I hit me.
So he didn't use his phone to call the police. So that must be his phone.
Okay. Oh. Were we not supposed to press?
What's this? My bracelet? What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in this testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. I wonder where that bracelet's from.
Maybe it is what I was talking about before. It has like the Magatama power embedded in it, but he just isn't able to see Cyclops yet.
And only a couple of people can do that.
All right, I'm pretty sure this is one we want to press.
Yeah. So you called immediately after witnessing a murder.
Please undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with Sam?
Wait, Apollo. This has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit? Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
Why is that? Why was that necessary?
The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? My bracelet, it's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet. It's like a lie detector, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you're talking about, Trucy. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with X as it reacts to the testimony. What's going on? I can see the witness's face, his expression so clearly, it's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy, what's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but this is kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch. His habit, you remember it, right? Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with the page in his book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand. His hand? You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right, I can only see his face like this. Time to try changing my viewpoint. Perfect. Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive. Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit. Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page. That's right, that's your signal to look closer, to perceive with X button. Find his weak spot and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. Don't worry, if you miss it, you can always try again. Right. Look out, nervous twitch, here comes justice. Club.
Go.
Ergo, I used my cell phone. There it is.
Didn't use his cell phone.
Maybe he lost his phone in the car.
And he went
And
to
then
get it. He either
or
went
he
to
went
get it
to
or he
get
went to a
it?
payphone.
It would explain why he rushed in a car and hit Phoenix. Right, maybe that's connected in some way. I can't see the panty thieving. Right.
We still need to find connections to all of these.
He either did that, he did a payphone, or he caused one of the two accidents, right? That was at 9:30. Phoenix was hit at 9:30. So he saw the murder and ran, and then went to call the police and wasn't there to witness it.
Did you read this one?
I saw it just now. I could see it. Mr. Justice, do you have anything to say?
Oh, this banging of the desk is quite bad for my circulation, you know.
His eyes. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? Ask to see his phone.
Definitely see his phone. Because I'm going to do the assumption this is his phone.
Yeah.
That is my guess. And that will tie him to the accident. Because why is the victim's car there? And why is his phone under that car there?
Mm-hmm. Mr. Tickler, please show me your cell phone.
Oh, why? Whatever for?
Show me and you'll find out.
I can't. I don't have it, you see.
You don't have it? Mr. Tickler.
There it is.
Is this your cell phone?
Where did you get that?
That's the phone from yesterday. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath the tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a minute, what's the meaning of this? This cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage. The Maractus? Why? That's where the victim lived.
That's impossible.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
Yo! It's true, I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. Why did you
So he
lie
wasn't
then?
there.
Why did you lie about it then?
Was he coerced into it? A payphone. So you didn't call on your cell phone at all.
We got... No, we didn't get the map. I hate that they don't give us the prints of the... Because we have this, but we don't have this area in People Park. Find that
Actually, hold up. Can you go back to the map for a quick second? I just want to examine it. If Phoenix was hit between the Kentucky Mansion and People Park, right? Let's just theorize here. He would have had to, like, if he witnessed it in People Park, he would have had to run to the Maractus Clinic, which wouldn't have brought him by Phoenix at all, right? So if we find him at the X in Kentucky Mansion, that's super sus. But it is likely that he stopped by Wright's office and stole the underwear that might have been hanging outside. So, okay. Why take that awkward block corner, right? Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to indicate it was a startling high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. Oh, it's over by Wright's office.
That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie?
Thank you for asking that, Judge.
There could only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone.
Because he has this perfect image of himself. He didn't want to ruin it.
I think something's up right now. Because it was found in the victim's garage.
Well, what are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Maractus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. The cell phone tells all.
But that's ridiculous.
Oh, shit. I'll do my eye drops. You read.
But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into the fellow's garage to commit some crime. So I was trying to kill him.
Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night.
Well, yes, but no, slight reason it has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true. I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night. You didn't have it to call the cops when you witnessed the thing.
Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to connection with the crime. But it was, because...
If he had it,
connect Mr. Stickler to the crime.
If he had it, he would have used it to call the cops when he saw this thing happen in People Park. But the fact that he had to go to a payphone means his cell phone was already lost.
Oh, and he's already connected it enough. I just have to prove it. We have a piece of evidence that could do the job. Can I prove that the cell phone was dropped the night of the murder?
Yes, we can. The car itself is the proof because it's in between the tires. So the cell phone had to have been put there after 9:30.
Yeah.
After the accident.
What do you do though? Show him the mirror?
Yeah, I think we showed the mirror.
Of course I have evidence.
Because the mirror's what ties to the car. Oh, I like your swagger at forehead. Hit it.
The court will see this evidence. Mr. Justice, hit it, as they say. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is?
Because yeah, the only thing we have tied related to the car itself is the mirror. Fits at the car at Maractus Clinic, and the cell phone was found in between the tires, which means the car had to already be there when the phone was dropped.
Yeah, and it's connected to Mr. Right, so that's a side view mirror. As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in that accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m. just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident. Which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? You did break into the victim's garage that night. This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus?
He is now. He's 100% a suspect now. No, stop. This is too much. This can't be happening. Prosecutor, say something. I suppose it's worth saying this. No connection has been found between Mr. Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt.
I wonder if he is the panty stealer.
I feel like he stole the panties and he doesn't want that known.
Yeah,
he's not the murderer.
He's definitely not the killer, but he's probably the panty stealer for sure. So we say Dr. Maractus was definitely the one driving the car and hit Phoenix. He went home, ended up going to the park for some reason.
The problem is where the panties ended up, because one of the pairs is in the back of the car, right?
Yeah,
so we had to stick it in, and then the other pair was literally in the park itself.
Yeah.
So if he's a creep, maybe he was like, he thought someone was on to him when he had both pairs of underwear, and he's like, and then he put the underwear in the trash and then ran, and he doesn't want that connection found. But that would also put him out the other. Yeah. Would put him close to the position of the other side of the park. Weird.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. When I was walking through the park, I happened to witness a crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand. Oh, clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
It's one of the first two statements. He grabbed his book again. Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage.
Ah, yes. Well, you can see my model and cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know? Rolling? Really?
Rolling.
Phones don't roll. Especially into precarious positions such as under the tire of a car.
In a garage.
In a garage, too.
Through the garage door.
Also, keep in mind that Trucy said, like, when her panties got stolen, the person ran into Maractus Clinic.
Yeah. It's like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please.
I think the problem here is going to be that the watch is broken at 9:30. I think that is definitely about to come up.
That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habits must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around. Right, no problem, I hope. Here comes justice.
I like how the bracelet's at the top now. Went to the supermarket. This is the one I'm curious about.
Yeah. That's when you passed in front of the Miraculous Clinic?
Why, yes, that's correct.
That was a pretty suspicious pause there. Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific?
Can you be a more stickler for what you're talking about, sir?
Please show us the exact route you took on the night of the murder.
Of course. Okay, so the supermarket is over there. The
Along
supermarket
the main
is
road.
here, along the main road. Its way home from there takes me past Miraculous Clinic. It's probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet both I walked on unaware of my loss. I walked right into that fateful park.
Which entrance did you enter the park from?
Well, to be exact, one might say I went in from the entrance closest to Miraculous Clinic. Same entrance our victim used. How do you know what
Did you
entrance
notice
the victim
anything?
used?
Did you notice anything when you entered? I assume it's the hot dog cart, right? I mean, the ramen cart.
Yeah.
Wheel marks on a noodle stand, for instance.
I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet, though I might have missed the tracks, I could not have missed what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say. It would have been pretty obvious you dropped your phone, huh, dummy? Okay, he's freaking out on this one.
I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, as clear as day. This is part of the testimony is the key, I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand? I think you should hit him about the victim, because I imagine he would have been there longer and might.
It's hard to say, really.
If it's the noodle stand, he would have had to
Wait.
see the noodle stand.
No, in order for the, I think it might be the victim here, because in order for the victim to be there, the victim would have had to have gone home and like taken the card or whatever, and got back. So that would help if you didn't see the victim there.
I say the noodle stand because he might be witnessing the noodle stand from the wrong side. And they're like the noodle stand being on the right or left matters.
Oh, and then we can use the noodle stand. So yeah, it might be this. Because if we can get him to describe what the noodle stand looked like, we can figure out what side he was viewing it from.
Yeah,
And then
because
we
if he
can
said
tie it back to
noodle,
the temple.
yeah. Because if he said he's seen noodle, he's on the other side. Yeah, but remember the noodle stand.
Quite well, yes. For a student of science, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. Could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes.
The other side.
It's the wrong side. Because if he was viewing it on the noodle side, so they've got victim here. Like I think it's weird. Then you got culprit here.
Yeah.
They would both turn this way. This is the victim's left side. I knew that was going to become relevant. I knew it.
Remember it's something quite well. It sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice,
That is very important information.
what about that sign? Could it be important?
It's so
Very.
important. Very important.
So the sign on the noodle stand said noodle. It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? Yeah, sure. I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days. I think that's worth adding to testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, I can't even match up to Ivy's cafeteria. Some apply to our school merely for the taste of our smart noodles.
I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. Yeah, you just gotta present the stand.
Yeah, I think we present the stand here, and then we go into that.
Yeah. And you're absolutely sure the sign read noodle.
Why? Just last week, my professor offered me this praise. At least you have a good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. Red, without a doubt, noodle.
I see.
What are you looking at me like that? Is that pity in your eye?
Let's take a look at our map, shall we?
The one that the game did not put in our evidence because it's mean.
You're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing. Here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
You think so? Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand. And carefully read what the sign says. See, the sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. Eldunes.
Inconceivable. Certainly, it was definitely Noodle, for sure. Positive.
On the other side. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight.
No, he wasn't. It was just on the other side.
I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle.
And he did see it right. It was just not from where the court has been telling us that he witnessed it from.
What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would read that the way Mr. Stickler claims?
What?
Mr. Justice, show us that spot. The witness actually viewed the stand from this location.
It probably wants us to, like, somewhere over here.
But there's that tree in the way.
So, like, I feel like it wants us to go, like, somewhere over here.
Okay.
Because it's asking us, like, where did he view it from, so it would have to be over here.
The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. How do you know that? When viewed from the south, the sign of the stand reads Eldunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand. Oh, that sign says Noodle! Exactly, the name of the stand is split between the front and the back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
Yeah! You got to... So what?
So what?
What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or south side? It matters everything, Clavier. It makes no difference at all. He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you'll end up going north. Nope. Technically not true. Like, I had this argument with someone before. It's like, if you keep going south, there will eventually become a point where you can't go south anymore because you're at the South Pole and you can only go north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Trucy? Remember his testimony from before? Though, to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading.
It puts him right next to the trash can.
The killer and the victim are facing each other here, over here. Then, at the moment the killer raised his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point the victim turns his head to look. And the killer fires his pistol. That's why his bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right, but if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
He would look left and look right and get hit left.
And look where they placed him.
Completely, if Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looking in his direction, would have got hit in the left side.
Left side.
The bullet would have hit his left temple. Ah! In other words, something standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible. That's right. So now we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side. The wound location takes it on an entirely different meaning.
Indeed, you are absolutely correct, Farlane.
What meaning? The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north. North. Ah. But that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing. Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple
Uh-oh. Is she about to accuse him?
was Mr. Stickler himself. Order, order, order. Wow, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. He slapped this whole case on his whole head while I was still figuring it out.
Objection!
Huh, I like that.
She's just like, ha! Clarify 1 point for me, if you would, Air Forehead.
What now?
Are you truly accusing this college student of murder?
Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent. But something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as a real killer.
Yeah, I don't think he's the real killer either, but it's highly suspicious.
He is by the garbage can where the old lady's panties were found.
No, please, look aside. I'm a really nice guy. All my friends say so.
He's gonna get, like, arrested for panty snatching, though.
Cut it off with...
Let's hear what the defense has to say. There we go. What are we going to do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? Accuse of another crime?
Yeah, there
Accuse
we
of
go.
another crime? I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why now.
The word confession isn't in my dictionary. Tisk is tisk, Air Forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate her Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing a witness just now. For a crime other than murder, your reason? The court's all ears. I know he's guilty of something, but what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime? Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in the crime.
Gotta be these.
Yeah.
They were found in a trash can right next to where he would be standing.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, why are you showing us bloomers?
Something tells me this isn't one of those good silences.
No?
Something else to say, Mr. Justice? One more chance, please?
Really?
It could be the panties in the back of the brand new penalty. It could be the panties in the back of the vehicle. We can also say he hit and ran Phoenix. That's another direction we could go. He for sure had, you know, come to think of it, those sandals did have paint on them.
But we don't have the sandals.
We don't have the sandals, but it has a leaf print. If we went that direction, we probably wouldn't. We have to probably come get the sandals tomorrow. What about the car mirror? Because the car mirror is involved in an accident, right? If the testimony went as he said and he dropped the gun and ran, he would have wiped the prints, and that's concealment. If we have Trucy's underwear, which is by the phone, that could be that proof there. We can't do anything with that.
Yeah, because the
I say
fingerprints were wiped. He was there, so like we could maybe say tampering. Like I thought immediately it would have been this because like they were found right next to the trash can.
I bet's the underwear and then the gun. Oh, the evidence.
Oh,
is
it is this one.
It isn't the exhaust, right? What is that? Woman's underwear? Hey, those are mine.
Just pretend like he doesn't see it. Don't look at me like that!
Order, order, order. Mr. Stickler, while I can't say this comes as a shock.
It's not what it seems. My Pythagorean
Gorillas. On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in another place in Maractus Clinic garage. Aha! Incidentally, these panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching on the first degree.
Please, hear me out. It's not what it looks like.
Order, order, order. Then who hit Phoenix? Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed.
It has to be Mr. Maractus. It has to be Mr. Maractus that hit Phoenix, ran away, parked his car, for some reason gets the noodle stand and goes into the park. Maybe to pretend, like go up to the accident, like, oh, what happened here? So like he has an out.
There is one shot that happened before, right?
We don't know if it was before or after. The kill
Sure,
shot of Mr.
but-
Maractus, if Mr. Maractus was the person pulling the noodle car at the time, there was another shot after. Because Maractus was alive when Stickler was there. It's not what it seems.
Ice breakdown, 10 out of 10. So, are we to understand that you were silent nod because you were guilty of not murder? But because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments?
Perhaps you're not aware my school's was originally written IV.
For?
I stands for intelligent. V stands for valiant.
Your point.
But done. Now I'm a major in the science department. What does science teach, if not curiosity?
Stickler.
Yes, we have IVUs. Science departments are very violently curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge to science than a mystery?
Come on, you're talking about a girl's panties here.
No, you don't understand. Mystery is unknown and unable. This mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. My friends, when it comes to mysteries, those panties are the promised land. From the moment I first laid eyes on him, I was compelled to investigate for science.
Okay. He's into bloomers, that's for sure.
Full-size cart tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed. What?
A tire?
Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of those panties. But that's not all. First there was a tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken.
He went to the magic show!
He saw her magic show, oh no! One mystery after another. It was magic.
Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar.
He had to know how it was done. He's talking about my magic panties trick.
I just don't understand. A broom from a pair of panties, it mocks the very laws of physics.
A broom and a frozen chicken. Brucey? Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits? Mr. Stickler! You stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick.
You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For me, they're an object of serious study. I wonder, has there been a recent rash of panty statues in the area? Were they all you? I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties for another baby, a pair of panties to lubricate mystery. Even though that night I chased these mysteries, I wept tears of joy. Perhaps this is the night that we will seize the truth, set our lives with no panties, and get well before I once again elect a husband who slipped in my.
Still, that leaves one thing unexpected.
Ah, you refer to our witness's other lie. Yes. The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but in fact, is the north.
Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that?
Can we point out the bloomers now? Because he'd be standing right next to the trash can where some of these were found. Be my guest there, forehead.
Me?
Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea?
Because the panties are where he was at.
Now we can point out the bloomers. The bloomers were in the trash can right next to where he would have witnessed the crime from. And you had to get him off him if he was going to be reporting the crime he saw, because if they found those on him, that would be very suspicious.
There's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it right, near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a... Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location?
Now we can do these.
The evidence that shows why he lied is this. What? More panties?
How many panties do you carry in your pocket there, forehead?
These are the last, honest. They were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash was right next to where the witness stood. Oh, I just had a premonition.
What?
He didn't get away from the place he stole them from. He was seen by the mother, and then the mother chased him.
Maybe.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't.
Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. Can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties.
So these panties are your handiwork as well.
That night, I'd been chased, hounded into Maractus correlated garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
Hid it in the garage for a short while. Then, banana panties, I made for home. Oh, he went a different way. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance.
But he would have saw Phoenix there.
Where I saw them hanging from a clothesline by the great giant mantle. A giant pair of panties.
Apparently he didn't know those bloomers belonged to the mob.
I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder.
The murder of Dr. Maractus.
I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me?
That's when you disposed of the bloomers.
Yes, it was a severe blow to my progress of science, but one that had been born.
A fascinating, if disturbing tale. I believe that brings today's proceedings to a close. And I'm more than pleased to dismiss the witness for the remainder of the trial.
One last thing, if I might.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin?
Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely, the defendant Waki Kentucky was at the scene of the crime. And he would point a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Waki Kentucky has a clear motive.
Indeed, the defendant Wakitaki is still a prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else on the scene at the time. Yet a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation of both the defense and prosecution.
Yeah, baby.
No problem. Very well, this brings the trial for today a close. Court is adjourned.
To be continued.